Hello everyone. Today we are just going to see the OR function and AND function. These two functions are basically the logical functions in the Excel, and any logical functions will always give you the output either true or false. It will never return you any kind of a value or the scalar value you can say. It will always give you either true or false. You will get this true when your conditions are matching, and you will get this false when your conditions are not matching. Now, the question arises, in which scenario we have to use this OR function, and in which scenario we have to use this AND function. So OR is basically used for the optional and is used for the mandatory. For an example, if I have given you the two conditions over here, condition 1 and condition 2. Now, if I say if either my first condition will match or my second condition will match, I want to represent as a pass. So here it means either my first condition will match or my second condition will match. I want to display the pass. So in this case, I will use this OR function. If I say my first condition and my second condition, my both conditions should match, in that case only I want to display as a pass. So in this case, I will use this AND function. So it means here in this first case, if any of your single condition will match, so it will display my result as a pass. In the second condition, if you see where my first condition and second condition, my both conditions should match, in that scenario, I want to print as a pass. So I will use this AND function. Now let's understand the concept of OR and AND operator or the AND function using this truth table. So here I have taken these two conditions, and now I am considering if my first condition result is true. It means if my first condition is matching, but my second condition is not matching, so in that case, what OR will deliver to us? So in that case, OR will work for the true. If my first condition is not matching, but my second condition is matching, so OR will also work for the true. But if my first condition is not matching and my second condition is also not matching, in that case, OR will give you the false. If my first condition is matching and my second condition is also matching, so it will give you the true. So if you observe carefully, OR will give you the output as a false only in the scenario when your both of the conditions are not matching. Now, if I talk about this AND, so the first scenario I'm considering, if my first condition is matching, but my second condition is not matching, so it will give you the output as a false. Second scenario, where my first condition is not matching, my second condition is matching. So in this case, it will also give you the output as a false. The third case, where my first condition is not matching and my second condition is also not matching, so it will give you the output as a false. And the last and the fourth scenario, where my first condition is matching and my second condition is also matching, so in this case only it will give you as a true. So it means the number of conditions or the criteria which you will pass within this AND function, when all the conditions will meet or the satisfy, so in that case only it will give you as a true output. But in the OR, if you have passed the multiple conditions and if any single conditions gets matched, so in that case it will give you the result as a true. Now let's understand this concept into the practical way. So here I have this data set where I just need to calculate this final received amount in column F and G. Now I have given this case the two conditions over here. My first condition is the amount should be greater or equals to 25,000, and the second condition is the goal. So what we have to do is, in this kind of a scenario, the amount which is written in this E column, my requirement is, if any customer want to avail this 10% discount, then either your amount should be greater or equals to 25,000 or your product should be gold. It means if any of my single condition will match, so in that case, I have to give the 10% discount. And if any of the condition is not matching, so in that case, I will not give any discount. The same amount which is written in E column, we will populate in F column. So here I will use this if function over here, because OR function only will give you the result either true or false. But in place of the true and false, what you have to demonstrate or the display, so for that one, we have to use this if function, because in the Excel, if is the only function which generate the result on the basis of true and false condition. So here I will use this OR function, and it says the logical one, logical two, and so on. These logical one means your first condition. Logical 2 means your second condition, and so on and so forth. So my first condition is if this amount is greater or equals to 25,000. Now it says your second condition. So my second condition is if this product is gold. So I have given the two conditions or the two criteria within this OR function and close this parenthesis of this OR function. Comma, now it says the value if true. It means the two criteria which you have given within this OR function, if any criteria will match, then what you want to generate. So if any single condition or a criteria will match, so I just need to give the 10% discount. Now it says if your any of the condition will not match which you have given within this OR function, then what do you have to do? So if my any of the condition will not match, so in that case, I will not give any discount. The same amount I have to populate. Now close this parenthesis and press the enter. So if you observe carefully, so in this case, I have given these two criteria. My first criteria or the condition was this amount is greater or equals to 25,000 or not. So in this case, if you see your E3 amount is not greater or equals to 25,000, it means my first logical test is false. Now, if you see your logical test second, A3 is equals to gold. So yes, A3 is equals to gold. So it means your second logical test is true. So your first logical test is false and second is true. So in this OR function, as I have explained, if any of the single condition will match, it will generate the result of the true. So in the value of true, I have written as a 10% discount. So that's why it is giving the 10% discount on the 1,000. If I drag this formula towards the downside, so here you can see this output. So it is giving the 10% discount on those places where either product is gold or amount is greater or equals to 25,000. If you observe in row number 5 and row number 6, neither amount is greater or equals to 25,000 nor the product is gold. That's why it is not giving any discount. The same amount which is written in E column, the same amount is coming into this F column. But now if I change the scenario that customer will avail this 10% discount only if the amount which is written in E column is greater or equals to 25,000 and product is gold. It means if my both conditions are matching, then only I need to give this 10% discount. So in this case, in place of this or, I have to use this and. Now it says the same thing, the logical one. It means my first logical test. So my first logical test is if this amount is greater or equals to 25,000. Now the second logical test is if this product is gold, and close the parenthesis of this AND function. Now, the two conditions I have passed within this AND function, and when my both conditions will match, it means the amount is greater or equals to 25,000 and product is also gold, then only I need to give the 10% discount. Value is false. It means if any of the conditions is not matching, in that case, what we have to do is, so in that case, it means my both conditions are not matching. So in that case, what we have to do is, so in this case, we will not give any discount. So the same amount we will populate. Now, if I close this parenthesis and press the enter. So here, if you observe, it says my first logical test, E3 is greater or equals to 25,000 or not. So my first logical test is not matching because amount is not greater or equals to 25,000. It means the result of the first logical test is false. But the second logical test, A3 is equals to gold, but this is matching. But in this AND, as I have explained, and will give you the result of the value if true when all the conditions which are written within this AND functions are matching. So in this case, my one condition is matching and one condition is not matching. So it will not give me the output which I have written in place of the value if true. So it will go with this value if false and it will not give any discount. So the same amount it will populate in G column. If I drag this towards the downside, so here you can see it will give you the 10% discount only on those places where the amount is greater or equals to 25,000 and product is gold. So if you observe, so here on these three records, I am getting the discount. The reason being amount is greater or equals to 25,000 and product is gold. So that's why my both of the conditions are matching and it is giving me the 10% discount. Here in the bottom, if you observe your amount is too big, which are greater or equals to 25,000, but it is not giving any discount in G column. The reason is product is not gold. If you will make any changes over here, so automatically on the basis of that, your output will get changed. For an example, on this A11 cell, in place of the silver, if I mention the gold, and if I press the enter, so here you can see it has given me the discount now. Earlier in this E column, the amount was 81,000 and after 10% discount in G column, I am able to see this amount because my both conditions are matching. So in this case, we have to analyze. I just need to go on the basis of the both conditions should match or either my one condition should match. So you have to understand this scenario and you can implement this one. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any doubt, please post your query into the comment box. Thank you so much.